Hey folks, thanks for joining me today. So today's tutorial we're going to be doing the fire horse, which is the 2026 Lunar New Year zodiac animal. So most people know it as the Chinese New Year, but it's actually called the Lunar New Year. And this year is the horse, but they also incorporate the elements. So this year is a fire horse. And it's a rather special one because the last one was 60 years ago. So this is a really special zodiac for the Lunar New Year. So I'm using one of the large oval stores. Sorry, it's not oval. This is a round stone from the Happy Dotting Company. And I'm just sketching on where I kind of want the horse to be and just making sure that I've got what I want. And then I go in and I paint everything white because it's a black background and I'm going to be using reds and golds that I really want to stand out, and this is the best way to do it. So I'm going to paint everything white, even though I've just sketched on all these lovely details. I'm going to cover them all up with white paint. And I'm going to do, the first coat is going to be with a brush, and then the second coat is going to be blended in with one of my sponges so that I can get rid of all of those brush strokes and have a nice, smooth, fresh surface to apply all the color and all the details for this horse. So this is like I said, it is the Lunar New Year. It is celebrated for 15 days, and it usually starts on the second full moon after the winter solstice moon. So it can vary on when it is celebrated, between the end of January and the beginning of February. So that's usually where it falls, and it's a celebration of about 15 days, like I said. And there's so many traditions and really cool things that is associated with the Lunar New Year. And it dates back to like 3,000 years ago. So it's been celebrated for, a little while now. And it's full of old traditions, special foods, all of this wonderful traditional stuff that families get together and celebrate. So this year is the horse. And like I said, it's the fire horse. They use the elements as well. And I thought this would be a great one to post up today because the Lunar New Year ends on February 3rd of 2026. So I thought it was a great one to do, and I had a lot of fun painting it, and it turned out so cute. I'm like so in awe of it. So let's get started into what I've been doing. So like I said, I made everything white, so I had a nice background to paint on. And now I'm just adding in some of the colors. So this is the horse's, not skin color, but hair color, I guess. And I am using a light mocha. And that's just to give me the base of what I want for the horse. And I'm just going to let that dry. And then I'm going to go in with some true red and put on his decoration. So every one that I really looked at, there is one that's in particular that has been named like the mascot, I guess, for this particular year, but I wanted to put my own spin on it. So this is the horse that I am doing, and so I'm giving him a nice chest plate with some really beautiful bright red, and I'm going to add in some gold, and it's almost like a cape, I guess, and but it's like a really nice chest plate. And then I will put a blanket on him as well, and a little bit details into his hair. So his mane. Anyways, so we'll get to all that, but that's what I'm doing, and I'm just going in with my True Red and putting in a nice thick coat of paint here, and I will go in with my sponge just to get rid of a lot of those brush strokes. And I'll be honest, there's sometimes I keep it in the video and sometimes I don't put it in the video because really, I mean, you've seen me sponge out paint many, many times. Is it necessary to watch it again? Probably not. So I may or may not have deleted that part of the video, but it's basically the same as any other time. So now I'm putting on his eyes, and they're going to be nice and big, big, beautiful eyes, and I make them as even as possible. If you've been around with me for a while, you know that I have an issue with being symmetrical with eyes. One's always bigger than the other, and I don't know, I said without using a dotting tool that gives me a perfect circle, I'm just not good at it. So we'll see how we make it with this one. So now I'm going in with some Taffee, and I'm just using my fine lining brush, and I'm outlining where I want it. And now I go in immediately with my sponge, and I sponge that out so that it blends into the center of the nose. So it gives kind of like a little shadow, and I do that under his neck, and I do it up around the sides of his head, and once I get to his ears, I will be doing it there too. But this is just to give a little bit of shadow, to give a little bit more of a three-dimensional kind of look, but that's what I'm doing here. And remember that like all of the colors that I'm using will be listed in the description. So I list the brand name and then the actual name of the paint that's on the bottle. So all of that will be in the description. So don't be fearful if I forget to say a certain color that I'm using, because I do make sure that it's all in the description so that you can go and check that out as well. Anyway, so I'm just doing some more blending on his nose, or his muzzle, I guess, because he's a horse. And now I'm going to go in and I'm going to start adding in some of these gold details. So, of course, I'm using my favorite gold, which is the DecoArt Metallic Glorious Gold. I find it so easy to use, and it really, really stands out on this red. So I think it was a rather good choice, and I'm very happy with it. So I use this quite a bit. A lot of the colors that are used in the Lunar New Year are red and gold. It's more of like the Asian tradition. And I say Asian because even though everybody knows that it's, or they know it as the Chinese New Year, it's not just the Chinese. It's a lot of the Asian cultures, but not just Asian cultures. I mean, there is like many people around the world that celebrate this, and it's just, it's really, it's fun. It's celebrating new beginnings. It's because basically what it is that the second moon after the winter solstice moon, it is considered like the end of winter and the beginning of spring. So it's the birth of new things. It's like we've just gone through winter where everything has been blanketed with this white, cold snow, and it's just sort of wipes out all of the bad, like the decay, or the puts everything to sleep for a brand new start, that kind of stuff. And then in the spring, everything starts to wake up again and starts to rise up, and it's a new beginning. It's a start over. It's a fresh new beginning. And that's what the Lunar New Year is all about. It's about new beginnings, fresh starts, all of that good stuff. So because the horse is a fire horse this year, I'm painting his tail and the mane. It's called tomato red, but that's why I painted the tail and the mane that color, because that's to represent that it is a fire horse. I could have done flames and all that good stuff, but I thought doing this, it sort of kept it all together. And I'm just outlining all of those details on his, we'll call it a coat. All of those details there, I'm outlining them in black so that you can really see those details. And that's basically all I'm doing, is just using the red, the gold, and then outlining with the black to make this look so pretty. And I'll be honest with you, I was really nervous about this one because there was a lot of details in it, and I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to pull it off. But wait to the end and you tell me how well I did. This is my third Lunar New Year animal or zodiac that I have painted. Last year was the year of the snake. I will put a link to that one in the description if you want to watch that one. It turned out really pretty as well. And each animal has a specific meaning, and there's only 12 of them, and they go in a cycle. Yeah, so it's really, really interesting to learn about this. And I love the animals. I love the colors, the brightness, and they're just so pretty, and they look so like empire-y. Is that a word? Well, it's another Northern Pieces word. Anyway, so I made a little mistake there. So I just used my cotton swab, and I go in and I paint back over with the red, and then I come back with my gold and do it correctly, and it looks a lot better. And yes, I'm using my dotting stylus to put these little dots on, but I do extend them out. So that's what I'm doing now on the back part of the cloak that he's wearing, or we'll call it the horse blanket. And we're just making some little details with my fine lining brush, just basically dragging the paint from that dot into a really cute design on the back of his blanket. So now we're going to focus on his face. So we're going to go in and we're going to do his mane and his forelock, get his ears done. And I originally thought of putting like a hat on him, and that's why there's those little danglies on either side that I had drawn earlier. But as I was painting it, I decided, you know what, I don't want those little danglies with a hat. So what I ended up doing was I made it look like a halter on the horse. So, but again, gold and red with some little designs on it. So, and then I had a tassel hanging from it. So you'll see that happen as I paint and as I continue to chit chat with you. So I'm curious if any of you celebrate the Lunar New Year and what your typical family traditions are for the Lunar New Year. I'm very interested in different family traditions. I mean, I've looked it up on the internet and I've read a lot of stuff and checked things out, but I'm just curious what you do if you celebrate it. I would be really, really happy to hear from you. You can just leave me a little comment in the comment section, and I would be, it would be really cool to hear or to see what you guys do as a tradition. So with his eyes, I wanted them to sparkle a little bit, so I'm using some metallic paint. This is called Worn Penny, and again, it's from DecoArt, and it's the only time that I use it in the painting, but I really wanted his eyes to sparkle, but I didn't want to take away from the rest of the color scheme. So I went with this copper color. It's called Worn Penny, and I think that it was a really good choice. So you'll see what I mean as we get into the details of his eyes. I'm just finishing up doing some details there on his mane. I did not like the way that it had gone when I put the white and the black stripes in it. So now I'm just repainting over top of it, and I'm extending it to make it look a little bit more full. This is supposed to be a fire horse, right? So I'm just repainting that, and then I will go in with the details again using white paint and black paint, and I'm doing this while the paint is still a little bit wet. So I'm going to let it dry a little bit, and while I'm letting it dry, I'm just going to get his ears put on again with the white base coat, and then I'll go in with the Mocha or light Mocha, and then the Taffee. The Taffee is going to be used for doing the shadows and doing a little bit more of the details and things. So there I am putting the white into his mane, or I guess that's his forelock, and I'm adding a little bit of black. Last time there was too much black, and it kind of bled into everything, like it blended too much, so I wanted to redo that to make it look more like the tail. So that's what I'm doing, and I just keep going back and forth with the tomato red, adding in the white and some of the black, and I just keep going back and forth until I'm happy with the blend and I'm happy with the highlights and the lowlights. So that's basically what I'm doing, is I'm putting in highlights and lowlights. And then after that, we're going to start putting in some more of the details and things like that. So I have to apologize as well if I sound a little bit nasally. I think I might be getting a cold, which is never a good thing. No one likes to be sick. But the weather here has been really weird. So we've had some really, really nice warm days. When I say that, we're still in the negatives, but it's a lot nicer to be outside. But then last night we had minus 27. So, and that's Celsius. So this is the spring weather that comes along with the Lunar New Year, that I usually get a cold. So I think that's what's happening, is I'm starting to develop that because of the weather changes. So let's hope that it's not too bad, because no one likes to be sick. So anyway, so I put in the pupils of the eyes, and you can already see that they are not perfect. Again, I do not do perfect eyes. As much as I try, I can't, unless I use the dotting stylus or the dotting tool. So now I'm going in and I'm just putting in the color on his ears, and I will be putting in some detail with that as well. So right now I'm using the light Mocha, and I'm putting that in and blending it in with my brush, and just getting the shape that I want for each of the ears. So one ear is going to be looking straight at you, and well, ears don't look at you, right? So it's going to be facing you, and the other ear is going to be sort of tilted to the side. Horses like to do that so that they're always aware of what's going on around their surroundings. So one ear will always be like moving to hear other directions. So that's what I wanted to do in this one, and that's what I do. Oh, I just said do. I'm sorry. I'm just a little giggly, I guess, today. So I'm using some of that taffy color, and I'm making some of the details in there. And I do want to point out, and I guess a little late in the video, if you're still with me, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. But I need to point out that my light that I use to show what I'm doing is really washing out the details and the shading that I've been doing on the horse. especially the light parts. So I hope that you looked at the thumbnail at the beginning, or that was showing what was going to be done on this video, because it has a much better picture of what I'm doing. The light that I'm using, it just sort of washed out everything. So I do apologize for that. If I had have known at the beginning, I probably would have changed the direction of the light so that it wouldn't wash it out so much. But it is what it is, and I hope you can still see the details that I'm putting onto this cute little horsey. So there's the tassel that I put on, just using one of my dotting tools to make a gold heart. Oh, sorry, a gold circle. And then I used the red to bring down the tassel from that. The other side you can't see, and I also put a gold band across his forehead. So now I'm just doing some outlining, and I mixed up some red with some black to give me a really, it's a brown color, but it's just not as dark as black, because I wanted these colors to be a little bit more within the color of the horse rather than just making it black and being cartoony. Although it is a cartoon, but it is what it is. So there's his muzzle. You can see it a lot better now. And I just add little details here and there to separate sort of the horse's details from the rest of it. That little thing there that I made is gone now on his muzzle. It was just a slip of my brush, and I just had to fix that up. Now I'm putting on some beautiful eyelashes, and again, this is the red mixed in with a little bit of black, just to give it a different color, but not introducing a new color, other than one that I've mixed from the colors that are already on my color palette. So it keeps within the whole tie of it. Whew, sorry, this is a long video and I'm still chatting away, and sometimes my voice gets a little bit tired, and I'm finding that's what's happening. But you know what? It is what it is, and I just stop and have a little drink of water every once in a while to help out. So now I'm just going to add in a little bit of white that I lost when I was doing the rest of the eye, and I'm just adding it in on both sides. And one eye, for some reason, has become an oval rather than a circle. So I can't do it properly. We're going to put in those little white highlights, and then I'm going to come in and do some details onto the tassel. And now we're going to work on the frame that goes around this cute little Lunar New Year horse. So at the very beginning, you would have seen me use my compass, and I made 2 circles. And these 2 circles are the perfect width for this brush. So I only have to do basically 1 swipe and not be too careful, because the width of the brush is the width of the circle going around. And we're not going to do a lot of detail in here because I really want the focus to be on the horse. And so we're going to do a couple of coats of red. Now this is a good visual for you, that if you don't paint it white, this is what happens to the red. So this is the same red that I used on his chest plate there, or blanket. That's the same red. It's called True Red, but when you paint it on a black background, it really mutes it out. So I really wanted to show you the differences and why it's important to have, if you're going to use these bright colors, why it's important to white it out first, so have a white base coat, and that's exactly why. But I really like the difference. It's still the same color, so it's staying within the same color palette that I'm using, but it's like a different shade. So it adds a little definition to the whole painting itself and really grabs your eye to focus on what's on or what's in the center. So that's why I did it, and I didn't bother painting it black, or sorry, painting it white. Then I'm going to outline it all with gold, and both inside and outside of the circle. And I do clean it up too, but I don't show you that because, you know, who wants to hang around watching me clean up paint that I've made mistakes on? So there it is, all cleaned up. And I did put another coat of red on there. And now I'm just going to add some black dots using my dotting tool. And I do this all the way around. I try to keep them as even as possible. And then I will go in and I'm going to top dot those black dots with some gold. And it's really, really pretty. I love how the black dot, by putting that on the back, or putting it on first, then you put your other dot on top that's slightly smaller, it looks like it's outlined. And that's my way of cheating, so I don't have to do circles all the time. So I'm just adding these little gold dots in between and it's finished. So there you have it, folks. Life is what you make it, so get creative.